Hello,
Eh,
everybody, and welcome back to yet another fun installment of the Cup Interviews, brought to you by Cup of Hemlock Theatre. I'm really not the one on these episodes, but I had a special guest today. I felt we just had to get her on for a conversation. It is the wonderful Jadyn Nasato, and I am
Hello.
Mackenzie Horner, your co-artistic producer. Welcome one, welcome out, welcome Jadyn to your first ever podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going to be great. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm happy.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Excited about
any
these questions.
right,
Oh,
right. We're gonna have so much to talk about. I mean, you're a Yorkie, you're an entrepreneur, you've worked with some amazing people. I first saw you perform when you did the Fringe Festival. And you did
oh my God. Billy and the
the
Dreamers.
yes.
Jeez Louise, that feels like so long ago, but really it's what, 3 years?
3 years ago now? Yeah.
Years ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was the first Fringe Festival we covered. And I was like, Jaden, you were good
Really?
in that. Now,
You know what's funny? I was gonna be a swing in that. I wasn't gonna have that part. Yeah,
really?
I was gonna be a swing for, interestingly enough, the mom character and
Oh,
the girlfriend character, and then I think
okay.
something happened, and then they just gave me the girlfriend character,
Nice.
and yeah.
That's so wild. That's wild. That's wild. And I mean, you've gone on to do so many great things after that. And then also, like, well, first, we're getting too far ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Let's go back to the beginning of it all. What got you your theater performance bug? Like, what was the moment that bit you? And you're like, this is what I
Um,
want to do.
you know what? I'm born in the Philippines,
Hmm.
and I told my parents I really wanted to come to Canada because,
Hmm.
well, my dad grew up here, um,
Hmm.
and I just thought that Canada had just a better opportunity in terms of performance. And so I said, "You know what?" I said, "16 years old, let's do this." My parents
Hmm.
said yes. So from the early age of 3, I've been playing the piano and doing like little
Wow.
singing lessons and things like that.
Mhm.
So I always wanted to perform, but mostly musical. And then I started my first role. It was called The Night Before Christmas, and I was like this bride. And the
Mhm.
story is we're all little toys, and this toy maker is God, and all these
Mhm.
things. And to get out of the toy world, we're gonna be normal babies, things like that. And that was my first big role. And from then, I was like, oh my God, I want to do this forever. And so I think I just kept doing it, and here I am. Here I am.
Love it. Here you are. Here you are. Oh, and I forgot to ask you, what is in your cup today?
Oh, my it is a salted caramel latte with a dash
Ooh,
of cinnamon.
oh, look at
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Well done. Well done. And I am drinking some tea from the cup.
I
The-
want a cup. Are you
we,
selling those for merch?
we keep talking about it, but we
You
haven't officially
should.
pulled the trigger.
You should.
So that is next on our list of things that we're hopefully that's on our bucket list for this year is hopefully get some more cups because we
Yes.
have quite a few people who've gone, oh, I would love a cup.
Yes. Or a cup tumbler. A cup, I
A
don't
cup
know.
tumbler, that'd be good
So
too. Then
many
you know what? We'll
things.
have to bring you on board as like our marketing
Okay.
person because you can
I'll do
kick our
it.
ass and go like, okay, let's go, let's get a cup going.
Yeah, let's do it. Sell
Love
it in
it.
headshots.
There we go. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Ooh. We're gonna talk offline about this some more. We're
Okay.
gonna talk offline. Okay. So you come over when you're 16. You then do this wonderful Christmas show, and then you end up at my alma mater, York University.
That's wild. You went to York too.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, that was one of the first things when I read your bio during 8 minutes 12 seconds, and you were a Yorkie. I was like, Ryan, we found another Yorkie.
They're everywhere. We can
It's
see they're
true. We are.
everywhere.
It's true. We
A
are.
lot
We
of
are.
us out there.
Right now, did you live in
Dang.
Winters
I did.
or?
I lived in Winters, and then
Mhm.
2nd year to 4th year, I lived in the village.
Nice, nice. I was a Dawn in Winters for
You were
2 years.
a Dawn?
I
Oh my gosh.
was. I
You have so
was.
many good perks.
Well, I got free room and board. I got my own room with bathroom and kitchen. So so yeah,
Oh my god.
being a Dawn was a good deal. I did that for 3 years. I never had to pay rent once when I was in
Oh
university.
my gosh.
Except for first year, obviously, when you rented
Hey.
a res room. But
Hey.
after that, I was, I got into that and they couldn't get rid of me. So I just stuck it out for 3 years. I did Pond, I did Winters. So, what stream did you end up going into? Were you devised theater? Were you performing
I
production? Like,
was
what
in
stream?
the conservatory. But I
Conservatory.
auditioned for devised and I
Okay.
auditioned for the conservatory. I didn't submit for production because I just knew that wasn't going to be my path.
Yep.
But funny enough now, I always think, in between jobs of an actor, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It's a lot of in
Yes.
between, especially if you're
Yep.
not, booking a
Mm-hmm.
lot or whatever.
Yes.
And so I would always think to myself, even when like York has invited me to talk in the prime time. Do you remember prime time?
Yeah, I love prime times.
So I've talked to the students and I always say like sometimes I wish I went to production just because there's more jobs there
Mm-hmm.
and there's more stability and there's more,
Mm-hmm.
I always say I could have just gone to like an acting school on the weekends, things like that. But
Yeah.
I say that, but also if I could do it all over again, I would still choose acting, I think.
Yeah.
Um, it's just those one of those thoughts in your brain where when you don't have a job and you're like, "Ugh, I wish I was just set designing or something." But I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. So clearly it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. But
Yeah.
yes, to answer the
Yeah.
question,
Conservatory. Well, there. Well, and you also bled it into my next question, which is perfect because then my question was, you're now an entrepreneur. You have your own arts cafe, the Headshot Café Studio. So, coming from your background doing the conservatory and things like that, what made you decide to become an entrepreneur? And kind of what gave you that gumption to be like, I got this?
you know? Okay. So my partner and his name is
Hmm.
Jacob Harris. He's
Ah,
also a actor. He went to Toronto
okay.
Film School.
Hmm.
And we always just said, I hate going to my part-time job. Like Mackenzie,
Fair.
I was a barista, I was a server, I was a
Hmm.
like all the customer service stuff. And I was
Yeah.
just so sad every time. Not
Hmm.
every time, but a lot of the times I would go to my shift like sad and just
Hmm.
this is not what I meant to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. And it just started getting like more and more in my head about it and
Hmm.
more just wanting something more. Okay.
Hmm.
And I was working at this cafe and I was like, I can freaking do this. Like,
Hmm.
I could do that better. Or like,
Hmm.
that all that I have to do? Okay, I'll do that. I don't know.
Hmm.
So then Jake and I told Jake, I said, bro, let's do this. Like, let's
Hmm.
pretend we have the money. So we
Hmm.
pretended we had the money. We pretended
Hmm.
we had X number of dollars for a loan.
Hmm.
And then we just like searched up where are we gonna be, like mocked up a whole business
Yeah.
proposal, thinking
Amazing.
we were gonna do it.
Hmm.
And then I remember I don't know if you know Julie Tepperman and
Yeah.
yeah, so she asked me to babysit Jake and I to babysit at oh god, I don't remember the name of the place. Anyways,
Hmm.
babysit a bunch of arts kids in a church.
Yeah.
And so we did that. And then I remember I was saying, I wish I had $50,000. I wish I had $50,000. Or like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get this loan. I'm gonna get like
Yeah.
or more. I don't know. Like I just
Yeah.
kept manifesting it because people were asking, what do you want? What are you doing next?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna get a loan soon. I'm gonna get a loan. Had no
Good for
way
you.
to get, but I just like felt it. I just
Hmm.
had this feeling that I was gonna get it. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I just, delusional, all delulu.
Hmm. I love it.
Anyways, long story short, the business plan was done. I some people and then they trusted the process and they trusted
Hmm.
the little idea. And here we are. Here we are. And you know what? It's harder than I imagined. It
Yeah.
is freaking hard. Like there's days where I'm
Hmm.
like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing?
Hmm.
There's days where I'm like, oh my God, I did this. Like,
Yeah.
these people sitting in the
Hmm.
little director chairs, because our chairs are director chairs.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, we're on theme.
I love it.
All these murmurs, like we
Yeah.
created that. Like people are
Yeah.
here in the space because we made it happen. And it's not to the point where we want it to be, obviously. We're only in our
Yeah.
fifth month. But it's gonna get there. It's gonna get there.
Yeah. I mean, you're not even a full year in yet, so you. I mean, you still got
No, but it's
room
hard.
to grow.
Like, I don't know. I guess in my delusional
Hmm.
imaginations, it was like third month we're gonna start at least
Hmm.
making money enough for rent so we don't have to come in our seed money. But we're not
Right.
there yet, and that's okay.
Hmm.
It's just a matter
Yeah.
of, what do you do now?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So when you were at York, did you take any business classes like at all?
Well, I did theater management.
Theater major. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
But not
Mhm.
really, no.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like that's the crazy part about me. A lot of people
Yeah.
will probably be like, "What the hell are you doing, Jadyn? No business degree, nothing like that." And here you are
Yeah.
trying to, it's real money. It's real people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've learned so much from it.
Hmm.
So much.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the business course.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, that's something where I know when I came out of York,
Mm.
I kicked myself because nobody had ever told me that if I had went and got a minor in something, I wouldn't have to take all the other like really ancillary like other courses that you have to take a natural science, a social
Yeah.
science. And it's like I remember I think it was Rachel Katz who was like, well, why didn't you just take a minor in like history or something? Like, I mean, you almost had enough credits for it. I'm like, Rachel, I'm like 3 weeks away from graduation. Like, this is not
You
the
tell me
time to
this
tell
now.
me. Like, I sat through theories of dinosaur extinction because I
Me
didn't know.
too.
Oh, you took
Me
it too?
too. Me too. But I took it.
Oh,
I took it during COVID, and
oh,
oh my god, I'll actually keep this in. I don't care because
yeah.
I'm about to spill some tea, spill
I
some
love it. Spill the
cup,
tea.
spill some
Spill some
cup.
cup.
Oh
Let's
my
do
god,
it.
I actually spilled coffee. No, my friend and I won't name drop her,
Yeah.
but she and
Miranda?
I took the dinosaur
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
We didn't learn about dinosaurs, right? We learned about the
Nope.
food, things like that,
Yep.
which was great, awesome. But
Yep.
like, I thought I was learning about
It's
dinosaurs.
false advertising.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
COVID times. I was in
Yeah.
Alberta. There was an
Hmm.
exam,
Hmm.
and I cheated. Well, no, I didn't cheat.
Yeah.
I just actually think about it. It's up to you if you want to put this in. I personally don't
I don't
care.
care.
I
Yeah.
really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, what are
Yeah.
they
They're
gonna
not. York is not going to come after you for
do?
this.
Yeah, literally.
You got your degree. They got their money out of you.
Yeah, and I'm
They
not
got bigger
teaching kids
problems.
about dinosaurs. I think I'm good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no harm
Yeah.
done. Okay.
Yeah.
I had me on my laptop,
Yes.
my boyfriend's stepbrother, and they were
Yeah.
all like, each question, because what's the answer? Everybody's looking. Because I just didn't focus right. Like
Yeah.
it didn't, I didn't understand. I understood it enough to be
Hmm.
interested, but not
Yeah.
enough to remember.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
make
That's exactly it. Like I remember coming into that class just being like, I'm going to learn about dinosaurs and
yeah.
the great asteroid and things like that.
Mhm.
Was not the case. My dad even joked. He's like, so when are you like with all this info? Like, are you ever going to write like Jurassic Park the musical? And I'm like, not the type of course, Dad. Not the type of course. I've never
But
once referenced anything in my natural history theories of dinosaur extinction class at all. That was a course where I'm like, yeah, that I just kind of plundered
oh my god.
my way through. Now, mind you, my history of warfare,
Oh,
that was one that actually worked because that was another science class, but that was all about the history of like the atomic bomb, the atom,
that's
like
cool.
tanks, and like how each one of these major military weaponry came to be and how they impacted future warfare.
That's
And I was
cool.
like, I'm like,
I wish I
that's
took
something I've
that.
actually used. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget. I think it was a natural science class where I just lucked into that one, and it was just like I was like, because I was looking for science classes that didn't have to do any math, any cutting of things open, like the most artsy science classes
Yeah,
possible.
literally. I know.
Yeah.
My friend
Yeah.
and I ended up getting a dinosaur tattoo after that.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
we went to, it's like a Toronto walk-in, whatever, and it's
Yeah.
$50 or something. It was like,
Oh.
let's do it. So I
Yeah.
have a little dinosaur egg right here, and then she
Yeah.
has like one of those long neck ones.
Yeah.
Whatever that one is. She wanted me to get a
No, not
pterodactyl.
Triceratops.
There you go.
No, yeah. Triceratops, Brachiosaurus. Yeah, Brachiosaurus is the one.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
So you did like that little dinosaur class.
Listen, I like dinosaurs in general. I'm a big Jurassic Park fan. I can't wait for the new one to come out this summer. July's going to be a great month.
Oh my god.
But yeah, oh my goodness. But yeah, that's something where I'm like, I wish they really encourage you to get a degree in a minor at school.
Yeah.
Because that is something where I look back and go, oh my goodness, that would have been so beneficial if I had gone to take like a minor in business. Like I think that's a great one for any art student to have is a minor in business. And I think that's something all our post-secondary arts programs really should be trying to get us more versatile through taking other minor classes and versus being like, okay, you're just gonna go take like some natural history classes, some social science classes, this random class here, but they could really benefit you in the long run. And it's like I said, because like theater management class was a great class. I wish that was like a 4-year installment class where like every year you learn a bit more about something you really can dive into the whole process versus trying to cram it all into one, semester.
I think York changed.
I've heard York has changed their
Yeah,
programs a bit.
because I remember when I was at York, we weren't allowed to do the minors because
Interesting.
conservatory was intense and all that stuff. And I do this, but I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's what they say.
Right.
And it was
Yeah.
intense. But
Yeah.
to be fair, like I feel like you said, if I was gonna
Mhm.
take this dinosaur class, that could
Mm.
those 2 hours a week could have been my little business class. Um,
Exactly.
so I just didn't get that part about it.
So you mentioned that you were doing COVID for that last year with like the dinosaur extinction class, but then and you were only in Alberta. So then, what was that like for you? How did you be doing conservatory like acting work when you're not in the room with your fellow conservatory people like Miranda, who we just found out was a mutual friend before we started
Yes,
recording?
yes. It was hard. It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
And like I slap my what's that saying? Slap yourself.
Oh, you patched up on the back?
No, the opposite of that.
Oh,
Where I'm like
uh,
disappointed in myself.
oh,
That,
you,
sure, whatever.
yeah, whatever. I
I
know what you mean.
Yeah,
You whip yourself on the back.
Yeah, there you go. Not bad. No,
Yeah.
because I wasn't focused. Like
Mhm.
I got into things that like took my focus out of the work
Mhm.
because it was on the screen. Like
Mhm.
I would always want to do my monologue first or like be one of the first people so I can just watch the whole
Mhm.
time and like not think because it was just different. It was so hard
Mhm.
because I couldn't figure out if I was acting for the camera or if I was
Mhm.
acting for the stage.
Right.
And it's such a tricky line because I'm doing so much because I think it's
Yeah.
theater. But in the
Mhm.
camera, it's reading like it's like, girl, calm down, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just not fun. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
fun. And I wish
Yeah.
thinking back at it now, I wish I just like did more and didn't let COVID
Mhm.
rule my habits and rule my
Yeah.
time at school. But I only had so first year it was all in person. Second year it
Yeah.
was fine. Third year it was all COVID in school or sorry, at home kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was like our first production kind of play. Through
Oh.
Zoom and we had to do the, pause the camera and then exit
Yes.
or like, all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I had to my props were here and it was
Yeah.
just so much to do. Meanwhile, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I have to look here because it has to look like I'm talking to you or like
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh
Mhm.
my god," or like look up because
Yeah.
it's too much for my little brain.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
You're so right. Like playing two different mediums
Yeah.
is very tricky to do. I mean, there's a reason why, film acting and stage acting are very different. Like as you said, are you playing for the theater in the back of the house or are you playing for, the camera that's, right there,
Yeah.
like tied up in a close up. Like it's very hard. Like I can't imagine having to like balance that. Like were they grading you as like a theater performance or did they take it more as like a virtual like
I don't
camera
know.
performance? Like
I
that's so
don't know.
tricky.
It was, but in a way, I'm grateful that I only had to do it for a year and a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
But like
Because you
for
came
you
back and forth year, right? To do in
did
person?
like it was hybrid.
Hybrid, okay.
Our first fourth year production, we were all in masks.
What was the
But
show?
it was the late wedding.
Okay.
And I remember the costume department was trying to do prototypes of the masks where the masks were on, but it was
Mhm.
a clear
Oh, so yeah,
mask.
the clear
It
mask
was
you
a
can see the
clear
mouth.
mask, but it was cloth over here. So we kind of looked
Oh,
like ducks, which was
yeah.
weird. And they tried to match the cloth to our skin tone, and
Right.
it was just not good. Let's just put it was just not. It didn't look
That's an A for effort. You
exactly.
tried.
I'm like, you know what? I saw the idea,
Yeah.
but I feel like as an audience to watch people in these
Mhm.
like Donald Duck looking masks, it just
Yeah.
wasn't gonna be good. And so Jamie directed that, and he said, "Screw it, let's just do normal masks because this is not no one's gonna take us seriously."
Yeah.
So we did that, and that one we did it at the
Mhm.
JGG.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was it looks different now, by the way.
Does it?
It kind of does, or maybe I just haven't been there, but it looks way bigger. The Starbucks different. You feel like you're in Planet
Interesting.
Future or
Yeah. The Starbucks, there was like a little cart back in the day.
Oh
It wasn't
yeah,
like a full
now
shop.
it's a whole thing. It's not just
Ah,
a shop there. Because when I was there, it was like a more than a cart. Now it's
right.
like integrated to the bill. It's cool. I like it.
Oh
I love that for them.
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, we did in the JGG and there was like a
Mhm.
camera. So we
Yeah.
performed it for like the cameras and stuff.
Mhm.
And then we used the hallways, the dressing rooms and everything. Like we moved
Oh
around.
cool.
It was such a fun experience. But again, it was one
Mhm.
of those like doing what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild.
Mhm.
That's wild. Yeah, COVID in theater. Like that's something where like I remember doing virtual, like what we call polished readings for the cup. And that was like doing those rehearsals. It's hard, like, 'cause you're right. Like, I got to look this way to make it look like I'm talking to that person. And
Yeah.
sometimes Zoom does the mirror flip. So you're like, okay, wait, no, that
Oh,
doesn't work for that. And the people have different settings. And then you also don't want to be like sitting all the time. So you got to be like at that right level. Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I can't imagine having to do that. Like, that's
Oh
just,
God. And there was a part in that play. It was Revolt. She said Revolt again.
yes.
It was that play that we did in third year.
Okay.
And I had to throw water on me. Like I had to look like water
Yeah.
was thrown on me, or like I did it
Yeah.
to myself, whatever. So I had like a tarp, a little
Yeah.
pin, a little
Yeah.
big pin, every night. And I'm just like, oh God, here we go. And like
Here we go.
carpets all, I'm just like, but it teaches strength.
Yeah.
You're
It
like,
really
keep
does.
going. Just keep going.
Yeah.
It was not great. But again, Jake, he went to Toronto Film School
Yeah.
and the whole time it was through Zoom. He had one
Oh,
class in his final year and it was movement that was in person. But everything else, I just felt bad for the guy because he
yeah.
walked out of school feeling like he learned nothing. But how to
Fair. Yeah.
figure, you know?
Yeah.
Like he
That's
was
tough.
too busy learning how to figure things out
Mhm.
this online way that he
Mhm.
feel like he got everything he needed as an actor. But
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like that's a COVID thing and a school thing, but
Yeah.
you know.
It's gonna be part of the history books. I mean, it's
Oh
funny
yeah.
now going back and rewatching some seasons of TV shows where it's like the COVID seasons where like they're in the masks, they're all masked up. Like I remember I was watching some old episodes of like Law and Order from a few years ago, and they're all masked up, and it's like you could see them like figure out how to like, okay, we got to film a lot on the streets because we're on the streets. We don't have to wear the mask. But if we're in the office, we got to put the mask on, and they have to show
Yeah.
that. It's like it's so funny how like in the arts world, like COVID is now a part of
Yeah.
the like the bigger tapestry of art in general. Because like there's a time period now where we all were either doing free virtual Zoom theater, or
Yeah.
we were having really tough times on film sets where you had to like write COVID into the story to make it make sense of why is everybody being masked up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's fascinating with the arts in COVID.
And so many rules. So many rules.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
like rules that I feel like were super important. Like when I did
Absolutely. Health and safety first.
Desync, we
Mm.
were in masks. But like
Yeah.
we were masked until the director called action. And you could
Right.
only take it out when they said action. So everybody was out of the vicinity and like it was literally just you
Yeah.
and your fellow actor.
Yeah.
And even then, like you had to be, all these
Yeah.
things that they had to do camera tricks to make it look like we were closer
Yeah.
and like things like that. And
Yeah.
that stuff is so
Mhm.
fascinating to me because
Mhm.
you watch the film and you would never think.
Interesting.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah,
It's
please,
not
please,
out,
please,
but
please.
I have like a little
Yeah.
link that I can send
Okay.
privately. But
I love that. I love that. And so then for your final York show in your fourth year, was that one actually done without the mask and like full on like a regular production, or is that still mask hybrid
mask
version?
hybrid. We did it in the FFT.
Yep.
We did everybody. By
I've done that one. No, I've done that one.
Jenkins,
Okay.
something Jenkins. Yes, everybody, and it was all the the ensemble or the
Yeah.
skeleton were masks,
Yeah.
and there was only one main character, pretty much. Well,
Oh.
5. Okay, let me explain this properly. So, so it's a lottery. Have you heard about this play? Like it's a lottery.
No.
Like you go in the show as an actor, you don't know who you're gonna play.
That's amazing and terrifying.
I know, but I wasn't part of the 5. Like so, there's
Okay.
like 5 leads, and one
Okay.
person gets to be the character's name is everybody, and then everything else is like whatever. It's about
Yeah.
like action or like strength or
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. It's not a named play, named character. It's
Right.
like a feeling or gluttony or something like that. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Sounds like a very interesting kind of weird play, though.
it is. You know what?
Yeah.
It's a very emotional, funny, cool. I thought it was a cool play.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I wish we did a different play for fourth year, just
That's fair.
because a lot of people were voice actors for it, and like I was a voice actor.
Oh,
It,
that's not
yeah,
fair to
like
be doing that in your
everybody
fourth
got
year.
like yeah, everybody got like the character. Everybody was the
Right.
person to follow throughout the whole play, and then
Right.
that person had a
Yeah.
consciousness,
Right.
and
Right.
so the consciousness was a voiceover. So that's why
Mm.
we're behind the stage the
Mhm.
whole time, except for
Mhm.
when we had a little dance number.
Yeah.
Fine, it's okay, it's all good.
Mhm.
Play that, but I understand it was about the masks and like all that stuff, but
Yeah.
only everybody was allowed to take the mask off,
Okay.
and everybody else was skeletons. And we had our masks on,
Mhm.
like a skeleton. Kind of.
Oh, that's kind of
It
cool.
was pretty cool. It was a fun project, and
Mhm.
at least we got to perform on stage with real
True.
human people laughing
Yes.
live and
Yes.
gasping live. And that's what I
Yeah.
love theater. And we
Mhm.
never got that in Late Wedding. And
Mhm.
so that's also like a hard part, right? Like when when you're on stage,
Yeah.
like this is a joke and then nobody says it, laughs or whatever, and you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
well, shit. There
Yeah.
we go. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So it felt like that constantly because you never got that audience
Mhm.
reaction.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
everybody was a bit better in terms of COVID.
Interesting. So then have you done much like voiceover work? Because like you have like a great voice for it.
Here, no, I haven't. I haven't.
Mm.
I've done a few auditions.
Yeah.
My first audition was with Michael Walter, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I remember searching him up. I'm like, oh my god, Hotel
Mhm.
Transylvania, like all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is my first audition. Blah, blah, blah. I got a
Mhm.
call back.
Ooh.
Oh my god, and it was for like a lead of the cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I did the callback, and
Mhm.
I was sitting down again, whip myself in the back for this.
Yeah.
But just the way my setup was, I couldn't stand. But I say couldn't, but I
Mhm.
could have.
Right.
At the time, I thought I couldn't, so I sat down.
Mhm.
And he made me do it once, and he goes, "Okay, you want to stand up so we can and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is such
He's
a
giving you that prompt. Yeah.
like this is such a
Mhm.
newbie mistake, like a
Right.
rookie mistake." I'm like, "What the hell are you doing, Jadyn? Like, why did
Right.
you stand?" I don't know. I just felt like I could have been closer,
Mhm.
but I just screwed up, I guess, my ethic or like how I presented
Mm.
myself. I don't know, but maybe there's so many other factors, but still,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I want.
recommend it. Voice work. Like you got the perfect setup now with the
I know.
recording studio at the cafe.
I would love to. I would love to do voice work,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
cartoon,
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start doing like singing things again, which is exciting.
Yay!
Yeah,
There you
like
go.
I now that I have this little setup, and I've always done that as a kid,
Mhm.
like a little preteen, and now I think I'm gonna get back into it. So stay tuned for that. Okay.
You figured it out. You were able to get a loan and a business going. But why the East End of Toronto? Like why was that the area you guys felt that it was like this is the area where we want to like set up shop? Like,
It's
what was that area that called for it?
it's a very artistic street we found. Coal
Interesting.
Mine Theater is literally a 5-minute walk, like a block
Okay.
away. And there's a lot of like guitar shops around, music
Hmm.
stores, like things like that. There's a church here, Woodbine,
Okay.
that does theater. There's just a
Mhm.
bunch of stuff like that. But to be honest, we were looking at again this whole delusional mindset of like,
Yep.
hey, but I feel like you have to do that sometimes to see,
Yes.
okay, this is not going to work, or like, okay, it
Mhm.
worked. Here we go. Shit.
Yeah.
What do we?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, of course. Of
Okay,
course. This is
perfect.
PG-13 show. We
Perfect.
each
I
get
love
one
that.
F-bomb per episode.
One F bomb.
One F-bomb per episode
Okay.
for each of
Okay.
us.
I already used
Yeah.
it. I already used it.
Ah, it's okay. You can
All
steal
right.
mine.
Whatever. But at first we were looking at like Queen Street, and my
Mhm.
dad was driving with us, and we were
Mhm.
just looking everywhere. We were even looking at Tobico, just everywhere.
Yeah.
And like Queen Street every time we would call the landlord, they would just laugh at our budget, and
Mhm.
they would like, "Yeah, no, it's not gonna work out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you," and be like, "Okay, bye." Like, "All
Mhm.
right, bye." And you know what? Thank you. Rejection is protection. We would have been
Yep.
probably broke by now.
Yep.
And then we stumbled upon a place on the Danforth, not this building
Mhm.
yet, but it was like a seashell lounge, and we walked in, and it
Mhm.
was a lot of work to do. And then we were just walking around the street, and we were like, "Oh my god, this place is bumping!" And it was in the summer.
Mhm.
This place is like good, a lot of foot traffic. This is great. It feels like it's an evolving street. It's not
Yep.
quite downtown, but it's not quite, Burlington or
Yes.
that kind of thing. And then we
Mhm.
saw this sign on the door literally saying apartment for rent. And we said, you know what? Let's just see the apartment first. And
Mhm.
maybe this is our street. We just have to get the apartment first, and then we'll find something later.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't online, it wasn't anything, but there was a number on the door. We called the number. The
Mhm.
landlord said, "Meet me in 30 minutes." We were like, "All right, perfect."
Mhm.
We walk in, and everything we ever wanted. The main floor for the cafe. When I was imagining this little spot, I imagined brick.
Mhm.
There was brick,
Yeah.
and the landlord, and there was
Oh.
always brick. There's always brick in a lot of these places because it's an old.
Yep. Yeah.
A lot of people are hiding it with drywall or
Mm.
things like that, which is
Yeah.
sad. But the landlord
Yeah.
took it out. It took him like months to
Yeah.
expose the brick. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps. I don't know why, but brick was just like when I saw the brick, I'm like, I think this is a sign. And I'm a big like universe girly.
Yeah.
Like I love signs, and I'm in tune, I feel like, with the world. Or
I
like
love
I
that.
at least I want to be. And I like to pick up things from
Yeah.
the universe. I sound silly, but
Yeah.
it's true.
No.
It's
No, it's true.
true.
The universe gives you vibes. The
It
universe
does.
always comes and finds you and points you where you need to be at any given time.
Yes, yes. And I
Mhm.
believe in that stuff. And
Mhm.
anyways, and then he showed us the basement, and
Mhm.
he thought we were gonna live here. And I was like, no, no, no,
Mhm.
this is perfect for the studio part. And then upstairs is the
Mhm.
cafe,
Mhm.
and then yeah, a few months later we said, okay, we'll do it. And then here we are.
Here you are. And there you are. Oh my goodness, that's just so amazing. And you've hosted events there, like you've done themed events. So what did you do for Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day, we didn't do anything for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
We had things like, but that's next year. I feel like this
Yeah.
first year is really figuring out how the hell the year goes,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
what months are not good and what months are
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
January and February are not great for retail, and so
That makes sense. Cold winter weather, nobody wants to walk.
I wouldn't either. So I don't blame people. That's the thing. I wouldn't either. I'm looking outside. I'm like, girl, stay home. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we've done like book launches, and we've
Oh,
done
cool. Yeah.
birthdays.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw you doing the book launch. It was your friend's mom, wasn't it?
Yes,
She was
my friend's mom, Brown Matthews, and
Yep.
then also Claire Mitchell, who she lives
Okay.
around the
Amazing.
corner. It's about wellness and cold plunging and things like that.
Cool.
But we hope to do more events, and we're getting
Yeah.
better at it. Jake and I, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of hats you're wearing. We don't really have
Mhm.
enough money to hire people right now.
Right.
So like we're
Right.
wearing every hat. Again,
Yeah.
accounting.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mackenzie, I didn't take a math course for a reason, and here I am.
I'm an arts kid, damn
I'm
it.
an arts kid. I liked math when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
now when it was all like the hell, I don't know. This is math to me. This is my little
Yeah.
hand gesture.
Yeah. I totally get what you're saying with the hand
Yeah,
gestures.
right.
Right.
I don't know. Like with a lot of these hats, like we're trying to figure out what days we're gonna do this and that, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's so overwhelming, but we're taking
Mhm.
this year as like a really learning year.
Yeah.
And then next year it's just gonna be like boom, boom, boom.
Right? That's exactly it.
Like we
You
took
gotta walk before you can run.
exactly.
Mhm.
And I got this like little root beer the other day, and you know how sometimes the caps say something
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
said, and I'm gonna butcher this, oh god, but it's something about like a sailor doesn't become the best sailor in smooth seas.
Mm.
It
Yep.
was worded better because, of course, it was in a little cap, but
Yes.
that's what it is, right? Like
It's true.
you're not gonna be great if you're not gonna go through these treacherous
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So I just take it as a sign of the universe to be like, girl, you wanted this, do it. Learn,
Yeah.
learn,
Learn.
and then I'll
Learn and
give
grow.
you it. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And so you do headshots at the cafe.
Yes, we do. Our
Yeah.
photographers are Fiona Vandermeiden and Jamie Marshall. They're
Okay.
amazing. Jamie's worked with a bunch of drag queens in the city.
Love that.
Aurora Matrix is one of them, which is I went to York with her.
Mhm.
She was in Canada's Drag Race season 4.
Woo!
Top 2.
Top
Top
2.
2. Like, I love that woman.
Damn.
And then Fiona is also like a very artsy photographer, and
Mhm.
she just got on board with us, so I'm really excited to
Mhm.
have her. And yeah, we do
I love that.
photography for families, babies, and
Mhm.
actor and corporate headshots.
Perfect. I love that. I love that. Now, you're more than just an entrepreneur. You also still do a lot of acting as well. So you've had some really interesting opportunities here because, as we said, you were in the Fringe Festival, and then you also have done other performances around the city, like your incredible performance in 4 minutes 12 seconds that you did. That Ryan and I both saw you, and we both were just blown away by that entire production. Just so incredible. But you've had the chance to work with some really amazing other actresses as well. You've had Megan Follows, and then also Mayan Denunso.
Yeah.
The
So,
Denunso, perfect. Yeah, Denunso. The original came from Miss Saigon in
yes.
Toronto. So, like, what was that like for you getting to work with these two really established actresses, and kind of what information did you glean from them about, like, longevity in theater? Because they've had a long career here in Canada doing all types of work.
Mhm.
So, like, what was that like for you to work with them, and like, kind of what lessons did you pick up from them?
Oh, so much. Like when I worked with both of them.
Mhm.
Okay, when I worked with Man, she was Filipino and
Mhm.
she spoke Filipino, and that made me
Mm.
excited. And to have like, and I would watch all her videos
Mhm.
before I got to meet her. Really,
Yeah.
her audition tape for Miss Saigon, and like
Yep.
when she was in the room, and all of a sudden, like she got the
Yep.
part in the room,
Mhm. Mhm.
and like that was just so inspiring because she was 16, I believe, or
Yeah. She was young. Like, she was like
so
Lea
young.
Salonga young. Yeah.
Yeah, and she got to do that, and
Mhm.
she's still doing the thing, and
Mhm.
you know, I remember while we were rehearsing for Billy and the Dreamers, she was already working on something else. Like she was writing something and doing that.
Okay.
And it's the same for Megan. When we were in, because I got to share a dressing room with Megan, and oh my god, that obviously in the beginning I was so nervous because
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, what if she doesn't like me? What if we don't get along? But we did.
Yeah.
Like we were jamming.
Mhm.
Megan is such like a fireball. Like I
Mhm.
love her energy. It matches mine. And she would just play like she's like, sweetheart, and she's so sweet about it too. She's like, sweetheart, do you mind if I play this? I'm like, absolutely, go ahead. Plays, and it's like the rockiest thing ever. And we're like, what? I'm like, okay, doing my
Yeah.
eyeliner. I'm like, shit, this should
Yeah.
be a darker eyeliner at this point. No, it
Yeah.
was it. Anyways, Megan was also working on things. Like she would come
Mhm.
from a shoot, you know?
Yeah.
She would say, "Oh, I'm writing this thing," or, "We're doing this thing." So I
Mhm.
guess the common denominator for both of them was they were always doing something while they were
Mhm.
doing
Mhm.
something else. And
Right.
meanwhile, I wasn't. Like this was
Mhm.
my thing. Like this was my
Yeah.
and I had the cafe in my brain already, but it wasn't
Mhm.
true yet.
Mhm.
So yeah, like and it made me think like you can't wait. You can't wait for
Yeah.
things to happen to you. And sometimes
Mhm.
it's true for some people, but
Mhm.
for me, like it's not,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
When I did Shakespeare in Hyde Park, that was
Mhm.
like wild to me because that was my first professional gig and it was Canadian stage. And to
Mhm.
a youngin like me, I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
this is crazy. Like
Mhm.
I'm working with big name
Mhm.
actors too and like things like that.
Mhm.
I'm the new girl here.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going with this. Oh, I thought I was gonna keep rolling. I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna get another gig after this because of the name of the theater,
Right.
But
Mhm.
I didn't right away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my co-star was like, "Oh my god, I'm doing this thing in 2 months." I'm like, "Already? Like you have one already?" And you get in your head about that stuff. And then
For
I got
sure.
4 minutes, but it wasn't.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, made me
Yeah. Yeah.
what's next? Always think about what's next.
That's exactly it. And so then, so obviously you've done like fringe and you've done like established theatrical works like 4 minutes 12 seconds. Like what was the difference in your process there? Because Billy and the Dreamers is obviously a brand new work. It's in development, it's growing, it's evolving. You're going from being a swing to being like actually like the like one of the lead act the key characters of the piece. And then first 12 seconds it's like an established well-written play that is already all set, ready to go, and the character's there for you just to develop and hone through rehearsal process. Like, what was your process, and kind of how did it differ between different projects that maybe have like more of an established setting versus a more of a workshop setting?
I took both projects like very seriously. Like both of them I really like put my all into it, especially
Yeah,
with Dreamers because I was working with Matt. And in my head, like, yeah, it's a fringe show, but I'm working with Matt. And like,
yeah,
like these two, the producers and the director, they were doing film work and things like that. So it felt like an
yeah.
established show for a fringe festival.
Mm-hmm.
But it, I wouldn't say drastically changed, but like when I did 4 minutes and when I did Shakespeare,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden it just became like more real because I was getting paid.
Yeah.
And I know it's not about the money. It really isn't, especially if you're doing theater in the beginning. But
Mhm.
because I was getting a paycheck every week,
Yeah.
like all of a sudden the pressure was like, I'm like, if I don't do well in this, they're
Mhm.
gonna hate me because they're gonna
Yeah.
think they're wasting money on me. That's just how my
Right.
brain works sometimes, especially my young brain 2 years
Yes.
ago.
Yeah.
But I just was more
Mm-hmm.
focused, I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean I didn't try my best in Billy and the Dreamers. I was so proud of Billy and the Dreamers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was just different. I don't know how to
It,
explain it. It's just different.
I get it for sure. I mean, Billy and the Dreamers. I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I see such potential in the growth of this project."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 4 minutes 12 seconds, I'm like, "Oh, this is already like a terrifically well written piece. Like, I just want to see it run longer, so more people get a chance to actually, see it, really take in the beautiful story, tragic story that it is."
Mhm.
So I can totally see how that would be totally different vibes there. That's just so
Mhm.
I mean, just so interesting. And then for such a heavy piece like 4 minutes 12 seconds, what did you have to do for yourself to protect yourself as the artist? Because obviously, when you're going into that role, that's a very heavy role to carry around on your shoulders, coming in and out of the show. So, like, what did you have to do to really kind of protect yourself in that performance? Because you were so raw and emotional and open with that performance.
I loved Cara. Like I really understood
Hmm.
Cara. And when we did talkbacks, the students would ask me these questions too.
Hmm.
And I always felt like I needed to have this like crazy actor answer where I'm like,
Yeah,
shake it off and I
yeah,
drink whatever. And that's fair. Like that's fine. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know what I did. I think I just talked to
hmm,
Megan in the dressing room. Like
yeah.
sometimes there was oh my god, I think there was one performance. I'm not sure if it was closing night or it was one
Hmm.
night. And Mark McGrinder, the director, happened to be there.
Hmm.
And I didn't know he was outside the doors of he wasn't watching the play, he was just watching from the screen outside after
Right,
Tarragon. And because I when I do my exit, I had to go through the lobby to get to the
right.
and when I went through the lobby, I was just crying for some reason. Like that ending to me was just like
Hmm.
crazy. I don't know why I
Hmm.
could not let it go, and that was different. That was different for me.
Hmm.
I'm the kind of actor I feel that my brain understands I'm acting sometimes. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, let it go, girl. Let it go.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
this is not going to do you any good because Cara is quite hefty. So
Hmm.
let it go. Let it go. But for some reason, this day, I could not let it go. And
Hmm.
if Mark wasn't there, I feel like I
Hmm.
would still be crying for curtain call because
Oh.
Mark saw me just like,
Yeah.
I again, Mackenzie, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what was
Hmm.
happening. And then
Hmm.
Mark just said, "Come here." And then
Hmm.
like, I just said, "Can I please get a hug?" I don't know why I'm crying right now. Ah,
Oh.
I just hugged Mark and
Mhm.
I just like let it out. Like,
Mhm.
okay, it's okay, it's
Mhm.
okay. And I didn't understand why the fuck I was crying. It's, even now, I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe my body's back in there, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think so. I think my answer to this question is just human
Mhm.
connection, because
Mhm.
I would talk to Megan in the dressing room
Mhm.
about random things, maybe about the play, about random whatever. But
Mhm.
that's what it is, human connection. And I would look at the room and say, "That's a light. That's a guitar. That's a
Mhm.
piano."
Mhm.
Get myself back into reality and just like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
crazy.
It's amazing. The process is so
Cry,
fascinating because
Mackenzie.
I didn't promise no tears.
No, I was kidding.
But that's so. I love how vulnerable you were about that, just because so many people don't appreciate the process and what goes into that. Because people come in, they see the show, they leave, they go home and have their coffee. I mean, and they'll talk about it on the drive home or whatever, but they don't think about, okay, what did, like, like, what did somebody have to go through to get to that level of a great performance that now you're complimenting? Like, what was that process? So thank you for being so vulnerable about that. That was so amazing. Now, you've also gone on and done some film, and you just won the 2024 award for best performance in a short film in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So what was that like? And tell us more about your short film you were doing.
So Desync, it's written by
Hmm.
Minerva Navaska and
Hmm.
edited by Chen Sing Yap. This piece was my first short film. Well, okay,
Hmm.
my first short film that I would like to, that I'm super proud of. Let's put
Okay.
because it was a Filipino story, but also
Yeah.
because it was like a strong woman character, but she's
Hmm.
broken. I love
Right.
characters like that. That's why I loved Cara.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but Desync, again, it was a student film from Sheridan.
Hmm.
I didn't get paid to do that, nothing
Hmm.
whatsoever, but it went so far. Like the director for that, Minerva, is just someone to look up to. She's my age. I
Hmm.
think she's even younger than me. But I look up to her. Like I'm so
Hmm.
inspired by her ethic and her work and
Yeah.
the way she is, because she's a doer. She's a doer. And that's why I trusted this piece, because when I auditioned for it,
Mhm.
I met her and I was like, "Oh my god, I really." Actually, I met her in one of the other sets I worked on. And she was like,
Mm.
"Oh, can you audition for my show?" And I was like, "Absolutely." And
Mhm.
then the process for that was amazing. I worked with Jennifer Villaverde. She was my
Yeah.
mom in it. And she was also a big time
Yeah.
actor. And she's big time in Stratford.
Yes.
I loved working with her. I shared a room
Mhm.
with her and we talked. And she was
Mhm.
there when I got the offer for Shakespeare.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was a wild, again, it was one of those things. I was like, oh my God, the ball's going to keep rolling down. The ball's going to keep.
Yeah.
But it was a great process. I loved it. I loved
Mhm.
Minerva. Like, again, it was like a
Yeah.
piece. Like, this girl is, again, broken and everything. And
Mhm.
sometimes I would tell the director, like, let's talk about this. Like, just before you say action, can I
Yeah.
say something? You say something, and then just like boom. But I didn't know she was
Mhm.
already rolling, because when she was just talking to me, when I was
Oh.
getting in the zone, like I would just start like crying. Like I would start
Mhm.
heavy scene, this particular scene,
Mhm.
and then I was like,
Mhm.
I'm ready, ready, ready.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And then the crew was amazing for a student film. It was like
Mhm.
so professional, so
Mhm.
professional, and it's one of
Mhm.
those environments where I'm like, "Ugh, I wish I did production, because people were just so cool. Like,
Right.
buddy, how do you know how the
Mhm.
sound is? I don't know. Like, what the hell?
Mhm.
I don't know. Just cool stuff.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, say your line, girl.
You have a very important job too. Don't ever
Yeah, you're right.
underestimate
Right. You're
that.
right. You're right.
It's all symbiotic. It all feeds and works together.
It was a great piece.
So, so where can people see this short film? I think, is it available online to watch somewhere, or is it like now locked in a vault?
Not. It's not. It's in a festival run. It's been in a
Okay.
festival run for like 2 years now.
Oh wow.
Even Jennifer, she would always say, I did not know. Like, we still get emails from CS saying, like,
Hmm.
it's in Vancouver now and it's in LA. It was in India. It was in
Oh my
Singapore.
gosh.
It was in the Philippines. And it was in Ayala. It's called Ayala Cinema.
Hmm.
And that is like a cinema I would go to as a child. Like, I'm like, oh
Oh
my
my
God.
goodness.
I wasn't able to watch it in the Philippines, but just the
Mhm.
fact that it was there and
Mm.
it's traveled to more places than I've been to.
That's so incredible.
And for like a student film, again,
Mm-hmm.
you're not paid for it. And literally a
Yeah.
passion project, a thesis
Yeah.
project. It just makes you realize, like, damn, you really put, work into
Mm-hmm.
it, it'll go places. And
Yeah.
matter if you're getting paid for it now because shit, oh my God, that's my
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
um
Don't worry.
because this project is gonna take you places where you never even
Mm-hmm.
imagined. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
Desync is. And
Yeah.
oh my God. So
Mm-hmm.
thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. So then, are you wanting to do more film, or are you wanting to do more stage? Like, kind of like, where are you really wanting to branch out and do more in?
Oh, I just want to act. Like, I just want
Fair.
to do it. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
care if it's the stage. I don't care if it's the
Mm-hmm.
film. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
act. I just want to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, I would be lying if I said I didn't want to break through film.
Right.
I'm not saying I broke through theater. Like, I feel like I
Yeah.
still have so much work to do and so many more
Mm-hmm.
stages to perform in
Yeah.
for me to be in that spot where I'm like, okay, I'm happy. Like, I'm
Yeah.
good. Like, I'm good. I'm
Mm-hmm.
settled. Like, I'm not settled yet. And I don't think
Yeah.
I'll ever be settled, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I just like to think that for sanity. Tell my brain, it's okay, girl. You'll feel settled one day.
Yeah.
But I do want to be in film too because I have so much family in the Philippines still, and I want them to
Mm.
see that kind of work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be so
Yeah.
cool.
Is there a play or a play or musical you've like had on like your dream list, where it's like, hey, if this show ever comes, or if you, or even now you may be like, okay, I want to produce this piece. Like, is there like a play or musical you're really wanting to get off the ground and get your hands on?
I would love to be in Chicago.
Oh, good choice.
Like, I would like to be
Velma or Roxy?
Velma.
Velma. Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Love that. That's a great choice. That's a great
Wait,
choice.
actually, hold on. Is Roxy the
Yeah.
one where, like,
Velma sings all that jazz.
yeah,
and
that
shoots
one.
her.
That one then. Yeah, it is Velma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
It's
because of
Velma.
that song. I just want to do that song and like that
Right.
dance. I know Stratford did it already, so
They did. They
No,
just did it. They just did it.
I know, so it's not gonna be for a while, but
No.
yeah, I don't know though. I
Mhm.
don't know if I'm gonna break into the musical theater world just because I'm not classically trained. And I
That's
feel
okay.
like,
You got a great voice, though.
thank you, Mackenzie, but I feel like I don't know. I'm just competing with people who have that in their resume.
Mm.
Like, I don't know. Like Ryan
You can
Hines
do it.
always tells me the same thing. They're like,
Mhm.
Jadyn, shut the heck up. Like, it's not
Yeah.
about that. Like, it's if you have it.
Yes.
But I don't know. I guess it's just one of those actor thoughts of like, or human thoughts of like, shit,
Yes.
I don't know.
Listen, if you can go and open up your own business without having a business degree, I guarantee you can walk
Right.
into a musical theater audition and figure it out.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Amazing.
Or Rent. That would be so cool. Rent would be
Rent, yeah. I mean, not my favorite musical, but definitely
Really?
I know it's what. Oh no, that's
I'm gonna be
that's
honest.
one where I get angry at that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I sound like a complete like non-theater person. I haven't even fully seen Rent. I just know like bits and pieces.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it looks so cool, but I don't know the story that much.
Jadyn, you're gonna have to come on to my musical theater podcast at some point so we can talk like in depth about musicals. Because oh my
Okay.
goodness, yeah. Rent and I just do not get along. That's a show that I
Really?
just
Is it bad?
want to scream into a pillow, going, "Get a job." The best scene in that whole show is, the homeless are out there in Alphabet City, like pleading for money and help, and Mark comes along with his video camera saying, "Being my documentary," like, that's not gonna help me. Like that, like you're not doing anything for me. Like, what is this? And I'm like, that's exactly the entire show.
And is
Like,
it
none
like
of
a
them are good
2.5
people.
hour show?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I
Okay.
sat through that piece and I was like, oh,
Really?
please. Oh yeah. But some of the songs are gorgeous. I will say some of the songs in that show are gorgeous, and I will never not discredit how much impact it had on the musical theater landscape and how much it changed the musical theater landscape at the end of the 90s. Huge. Like, I wouldn't have a lot of the more modern sounding shows today if we didn't have Rent first. So I will never not be like, oh my God, it's useless. No, it's a very important piece. I just think some of the characters were not the most well written, but the songs are gorgeous.
Yeah.
The songs are definitely gorgeous. But Chicago, I could see you as a Velma. I could definitely see you as a
Really? I
Velma.
love that.
Yes.
I love that. Oh my God.
Velma's the best character of that whole show.
I love her. She's so like.
She's feisty.
Yeah.
She's feisty. But I will say the film is better than the stage show because the film actually did a better job telling the story. Like I saw the film first and then saw Stratford. So I went, how do we get from like this to that? Like there's like Rob Marshall absolutely deserved that Oscar nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay because the amount of work he put into ironing out that piece, like I didn't realize how much was film versus stage, where like all the songs are moved around, it's not as linear and cohesive, like it's a lot more episodic. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating piece to study in translation from stage to screen. So
I haven't
recommend
seen it
checking that out.
To be honest, like when I was out in Stratford, I just couldn't make it up there, but I haven't seen it on stage, but I'm basing my dreams on the film. Because the film is just great, and you know, I agree.
Best Picture winner for a good reason. It absolutely deserved that award.
Period.
Yes, yeah. So obviously you've now done at least one Shakespeare play. Is there one Shakespeare play where you're like, oh my goodness, I would love to do Titus Andronicus, or I love to do Henry V? Like, is there like a Shakespeare play that is standing out to you where it's like I gotta do that one at some point?
No.
No.
Because guess what? Like I don't
like
like Shakespeare.
But you did so well at it.
Oh God, thank you, Mackenzie. But oh my God. I never, ever in a million years. And when I got, flashback. When I was in grade 12, I went to Burlington Central High School. And I was so excited for the senior year because I'm like, oh my God, I have a chance to be the lead. Like, and I had a crush on this one guy. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like the boy theater kid of the school, I guess.
Got you. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like we're going to be like together.
Showmance.
You know, all that stuff. We ended up dating.
Okay, there you go. Good for you.
We ended up dating, but we broke up, obviously. But anyways, that's the side story.
Yeah.
Just to spice it up a little bit.
I love it.
So we're in the theater, and the director, Mr. Jeanette, is announcing the play. And I'm like, oh my God,
yes.
what musical is it going to be, guys? What musical?
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, A Midsummer Night's Dream. I'm like, what? Like, the whole class was like, are you kidding, Mr. Jeanette? Like, Marty. His name was Marty. And we had that relationship where we could call him by his first name. Yeah. In grade 12. Like, Marty! Like, what the hell? And I'm like,
because no budget for rights to do anything else.
Yeah.
Gotta go like license free.
Literally. But I think his main thing was not a lot of people could sing in our year. So it just wasn't like I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't a musical year. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit.
Gotta know what you're programming for. Good for him for being like, yeah, musicals are not going to be a thing this year.
Yeah, and then guess what? The next year they did Spam-A-Lot.
Oh,
and then the next year after that, the next year after that they did. I actually don't remember what they did, but then they did High School Musical at one point, and I'm like, are you kidding, Mr. Jeanette? I would have loved to be Gabriella. Are you kidding me?
I would have cast you as Sharpay. I think you would be a great.
Oh
Sharpay.
my God, really?
Yes.
Oh my God, no, Mackenzie, I want to be Gabriella.
That's fair. That's fair. Gabriella is a fun role too. But Sharpay's got some great songs.
Yeah, she does. She does. And I like her attitude, to be honest.
Right? That's exactly it.
Well, she's perfect in the play or in the show. Like, you need Sharpay there.
Yes.
So yeah, I did Midsummer Night's Dream, and I was like, Mr. Jeanette, I don't like Shakespeare, and like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, girl, he didn't say girl, but he said, Jadyn, you're playing Titania. You're gonna be Titania. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even one of the lovers. And guess what, Mackenzie?
What?
My crush was Lysander. Of course.
Oh, so he gets to make out with everybody.
Of course. Then here I was, like, not
making out with a dog.
My musical dream, not living my romance dream. But oh my God! But I had fun.
Yeah,
like, I loved it in the end. Like I loved being like I don't know the way he directed it. I don't know. It was just fun and. Titania's
a fun role. It's a meaty, juicy role, and the scenes with Oberon are like dynamic. Like I did that show twice at Stratford Shakespeare School. Both times I ended up being bottom.
Oh my God, you are so bottom because bottom's funny. You have to be whimsical.
I love bottom. Listen,
Yeah,
bottom is such a fun role.
it's a hard
Uh,
role though.
it's a lot because there's a line. You have to find that line of schmacky,
Yeah,
but not over the top.
yeah.
There's a level that you have to find in that
Mm.
performance. But I remember my dad going, "Really, Midsummer Night's Dream again? I got to sit through that piece." Okay, he goes, "That's the weird one with the fairies and everything." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, Dad." But I go, "It's a lot of fun. I can see why it gets taught in high schools because it's a perfect piece to study. Like it's funny, it's so dynamic, and also there's songs. There is musical numbers in it. The fairies do
Yeah.
get to sing.
Yes.
So
And because I was like the queen of the fairies, I got to
yeah,
sing too. So I guess I got to live my musical theater dream in grade 12. I guess.
while making out with the donkey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But the donkey was
yeah.
one of my best friends, so it was great because he
There you
didn't
go.
care if I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then when I did Shakespeare in Hyde Park, Miss
Yes,
Jeanette was one of the people I messaged first, and I was like,
yes.
yes. And then I'm like, I'm playing Hermia,
I
and
love that.
I'm doing this thing in Canadian State, and he's
Mhm.
like, oh my God. And you said you hated Shakespeare because he knows. Like,
Yes.
it's not that I hate Shakespeare, it's just, I really find it hard. Like, I find
Hmm.
it a hard thing to do as a
Yeah.
student and
Yep.
as an
Hmm.
actor. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just hilarious.
Hmm. Yeah.
The things you
I felt
fear.
yeah, well, that's exactly it. I mean, I remember I did a musical theater camp
Mm.
before I went into high school, and then I thought I was going to go back there the next summer. I mean, I was like, nope, I'm sending you to Stratford Shakespeare School. I'm like, but I don't do Shakespeare. I'm a musical theater. He goes, Mac, you go there, you learn your roots
Mm.
because everything stems from the roots. And I had a great teacher there who gave me the perfect lesson of how to figure out Shakespeare because I was like, I can't read this. Like, I can't figure this out from heads or tails. And I remember struggling. And I remember the director said, Mac, think of this as like a grocery shopping list. And I went,
Mm.
what do you mean a grocery shopping? He goes, listen, just take your monologue because we were doing Henry V at the time, and I was Montjoy the
Oh
Herald. So I had
God.
these long ass monologues I had to do. Fun role, just
Yeah.
long. But he says, listen, Shakespeare gives you a lot to digest, but really it's really simple. He goes, think of it as if you're going to the grocery store. It's like eggs, milk, flour. That's what you're going in to buy. But along the way, in the grocery store, you pick up, bananas, apples, carrots, cheese. And then you get to the grocery store, the checkout, and you go, wait, what was I here for again? And it's eggs, milk, butter, flour. And he goes, that's the trick. Find your eggs, milk, and butter in every Shakespearean dialogue you have. And the rest you can fill in with other acting things along the way. But find your truth first. Find the three, like find the core of what you're saying. And the rest you'll fill in. Because he goes, half the time, Mac, there's a lot of inside Elizabethan jokes that nobody gets. Like, don't worry about that. Just find the truth, find the core of what Shakespeare was trying to say,
Yeah.
and you'll be okay. And I was like, and the minute he said that, it was like, click. It was
Yeah.
perfect. And I know I love Shakespeare. I love it to death. But I remember in high school having to teach friends that trick because they were like, what is this to be or not to be speech? Like what are we doing here? And I'm like, listen, it's this. It
Mhm.
just takes a minute. You just have to have the chance to know the vocabulary. It's like learning another
Yeah.
language. It's like learning French.
Mhm.
Until you actually learn how to speak it,
Yep.
it's very hard to do. So I totally get why people are like Shakespeare. Oh,
Yeah.
no, thank you. No, thank you.
Well, like, I mean, I say I hate
Hmm.
Shakespeare, but I
Yeah.
really like when I'm in it.
Hmm.
It is such a fun challenge. And
Yeah.
the biggest challenge I find is like
Mhm.
making the audience understand,
Yes.
right? And I find that the times I would do that is because I didn't
Mhm.
understand what the hell I was saying.
Right.
Or I would understand and I would
Hmm.
think that the audience doesn't, so then I push. I
Right.
push the line and I
Yeah.
push the words, and all of a sudden, the magic is gone.
Right.
But throughout the rehearsal, I would always ask Jamie Robinson,
Hmm.
who directed
Yeah.
this, and I was like, "Hey, Jamie, like, am I too much? What am I doing? This isn't feeling authentic in a way." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Just say the words.
Hmm.
Honestly, it's how they talk. This is the
Hmm.
way they talk. So how you're
Yeah.
talking to me right now is how they would be
Hmm.
talking to me in this Shakespearean language."
Hmm.
And that was an easy note
Hmm.
or an easy advice to give, but the hardest
Yeah. Hmm.
to do.
Yes.
Because again, I'm like, the audience is not gonna understand me if I don't say
Hmm.
this word like this or like blah blah blah.
Hmm.
But like, girl, no. Like
Hmm.
shut up and just say the gosh darn line. And that is
Yes.
hard. That is so
Yeah. Hmm.
but then as you go do it, you always just have to think the audience is smarter than you think. Even
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Shakespeare. And people who usually go to Shakespeare usually love Shakespeare, so they will
Yeah.
understand it. Just
Mhm.
say, just
Yeah.
be.
Half the time I'm at Stratford watching a Shakespeare, there's stuff going over my head where I'm like, I don't fully understand exactly what's being said, but I get the intention and I get the overall arc of the scene and what's going on.
Yeah.
Do I get every Elizabethan joke in there? No. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like you're there for the story, you're there for the human experience that these characters are going through.
Mhm.
You'd be a great Beatrice in Much Ado. I could see you as a very good
Oh,
Beatrice.
really? I think I auditioned for Beatrice once. Didn't Stratford just do Beatrice?
Stratford just did it. Yeah.
Okay,
Stratford
I
just
think
did
I
it. Yeah.
did. Or
Yeah.
Beatrice. Much Ado. I think I
Yeah.
auditioned for Beatrice or something.
Beatrice or Hero? Hero.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe if I get another audition.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, after seeing you do Midsummer, I think you got some Shakespearean chops there. I think I could see you fleshing that out.
Could you imagine? Like, I'm talking so much smack about Shakespeare right now, and my whole career is just Shakespeare. I would
Listen,
laugh. I would laugh.
I would love that for you. I'd be like,
Me
see,
too. Me
you
too.
just willed it into existence and it happened. The world knew exactly what was needed when.
No.
Right? Okay, so before we sign up for the day, tell us, what do you got coming up? Like, what should we be looking for? Is there anything coming up at the cafe that we should be, signing up to come and do with you? Like, kind of what's on the horizon for Jadyn?
Acting wise, there
Mhm.
is nothing yet, but
Okay.
it's gonna come.
It's audition season.
It is audition season. I was
Yeah.
at this theater yesterday to do an audition,
Yeah.
and let's hope for the best.
Knocking on wood,
Truly,
fingers
I'm in
crossed.
my head about it. So I'm so happy this podcast is happening. So I can just
Good.
not be
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
like that. I'm like that. I do the audition, I walk out, and sometimes when you're auditioning and you did good,
Yes.
like you just feel that.
Yep.
For some reason yesterday I was like very like in the room, I felt like,
Mhm.
and then I just got so in my head. I don't know if it's because the director I've never worked with before, or like
Right.
an intense play that I really, really, really want. But we'll see. Whatever.
Yeah.
Again, rejection is protection. So
Yep.
whatever the universe wants to give me will give me.
Mhm.
And then I think that, hey, speaking of the universe, I think it knew that I was really in my head about this audition yesterday, because while I was just on my phone scrolling again, just random thoughts in my brain. I'm like, oh my God, I talk too much.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot my line. I forgot my gosh darn line. But I only got the audition a few days ago. So they said there that we don't expect you to be off book, but I just wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, I think I was, again, nervous. So I forgot my line, but it was fine. Like, I handled it properly. But you're in your head about that stuff. Like, it's not going to happen now. Anyway, and as I was thinking that, I got a C-mail message for a TV show, and so I'm like, oh my God, you know what? Let's focus on this, and if that's gonna happen, that's just girl, just live in the moment. The past is done. The ball is in their court. Move on.
Yes.
If you get it, period. If you don't, exclamation point, dot, what's next, right? So I was like, all right, that's fine. So we're auditioning, we're hoping for the best, we're doing our best. But right now, what's on the horizon is just the studio for the cafe the headshot studio is almost ready. The podcasting, that's why I have this little mic. This is the first time I'm using it.
I love it.
The podcast room is almost done. All we need is another mic stand and a few more.
Okay.
And then the photography part has always been on the go. We're almost ready to do the self-taping part of our studio. And so, yeah, the cafe is up and running, but
I love it.
The studio is like, it's ready.
I love it.
It's almost ready. So
perfect. Well, we will put the links for the cafe in the video bio down below.
Yes.
As well, so people can find and follow it. And I gotta get out there to actually get to this cafe, because I keep seeing you post, but I'm like, my sister lives just off the Danforth in her house, so I'm like, I gotta like get over there to your place at some point, because sometimes I go over and cat sit, and it's like I gotta get over there. And like, Maddie, no,
okay,
I'm don't get me wrong, Maddie loves the arts. She is not. She likes painting and knitting in her spare time. That is her arts.
We do paint nights sometimes.
Oh, okay. We'll have to. I'll have to be like Maddie. Date night. Let's go. Let's go check that
Yes.
on out. Sibling
Yes.
night.
We always have
So
like random events happening. Paint
I love
nights.
it.
Maybe we'll have a knitting day. Who knows?
Listen, knitting's coming back. People are loving knitting. Like the amount of people who I see like just on the streetcar or on the subway, like riding along, just knitting and crocheting. I mean, my sister does that when she's watching TV at night.
Yeah.
She's like a little old lady, but
I
she's
love
like
that.
younger than me.
Love that. It's better than being on your phone and like.
Right? That's why she started doing it during COVID. She started knitting during COVID, or she got back into it because her grandmother taught her.
Yeah.
And she wanted to do something besides scroll on her phone and doom scroll at night. So she started knitting it, and now she like makes cloths and scarves, and she's like all into it. Like she just goes at it, and then that's just her little fun side project that she does. So
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Because I was into that. I was into crocheting.
I love that.
It's
expensive yarn.
It's expensive yarn, and I was doing this blanket, and it's huge on one side, but now I have to do it all on that side, and it's just I've gone through so many yarns, and it's still not. So I'm like, I'm giving up. Not yet. Like it's still somewhere in my little box. I'm not giving up. I just need money to buy the gosh darn yarn.
I'm trying to find a business, like a way to expense it as like a business.
Yeah, you're right.
You get it as a write-off,
Right,
you're doing a yarn making class. Or you're going to teach crocheting classes, so you need to buy yarn for it.
Yeah, I love that. And just
I'm telling you,
I'll just be the only person in the class.
That's fine.
I love that.
You're doing personalized tutorials. You're doing private sessions.
God, Mackenzie, we need to talk again and do a little business plan.
I love it. Listen, hit me up. I'm happy to come and sit down with that.
Yes.
I love that. Where can people find and follow you? Because obviously, after watching this, they're gonna be like, we got to know what Jadyn's doing. So where can they find and follow you and what you get up to?
Instagram is my main place that I promote and like post about my stuff and what's coming up. So just Jadyn Nasato. Boom. That's it.
I love that. Well, we'll link that down below in the comment section too, so people can just like click and go. So that's perfect there. And I will say we're definitely gonna have you back on for like another episode, whether that's a screenplays, a editorial session.
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna get you back on for more episodes because you're amazing.
Thank you.
You got so much to talk about. Oh, thank you. thank you. Who knows? Maybe we'll have to find like a film production of a Shakespeare play. Like Jadyn, you're on.
Hey, I'll do it. I'm up for the challenge.
I love it. All right. Well, until then, everybody, stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see you all in our next episode. And Jadyn, you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you at the cafe.
Adios.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.